how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Trofold Paranormal Sunday. You all know who I am, so I'm just going to go ahead and hand it all back over to Laura.
All right. Well, my name is Laura, and I have been in the paranormal for over 20 years. And I have been, I guess, officially talking to spirits ever since I can remember. So, yeah. Um, Today's episode is going to be kind of local folklore sort of esque. I mean, it is all local. Um, I got to go on a paranormal investigation last night at a local place called Robbers Cave in Lincoln, Nebraska. And the stories behind these caves are really kind of wild and fascinating. Um, they are mainly limestone and sandstone caves, but there is some iron ore in there. There's also some quartz, crystal quartz, and I'm sure there was limestone as well. But yeah, these caves that were dug out by water and by pickaxe, I'm I'm telling you. So we got a brief little tour of the place. I didn't, I've lived here my whole life and I knew about the caves. I just didn't really know what the history or anything behind them were. Local, like 20 somethings and teenage kids mainly, they loved to hang out in these caves, especially in the summertime, which I can completely understand. Um, Nebraska, if you've never been to Nebraska during the summertime, it is extremely humid. We do have something called corn sweat. Yes, the corn does sweat, and it causes the humidity in the air to rise dramatically. In fact, it is at the end of May, and we're already experiencing a lot of humidity. Now, granted, our humidity this time right now is not caused by corn because the corn has not grown yet, but yeah,
It
yeah,
still gets pretty
it's
damn humid,
really
though.
warm, really damp and warm. Yeah. Kind of to the point where like you walk outside and you're like, I feel like I'm a fish trying to breathe in air. Like I can't breathe because the air is so wet. If you've never experienced that, I highly recommend come to Nebraska or, go to Iowa, somewhere Midwest, and especially around, what would you say, July, August? Mm.
Oh, I,
Those-
I would say that probably July is the worst.
Yeah, yeah. Those are going to be if you go when it's like 100 and some Fahrenheit temperatures with humidity of like almost 100% and there's no rain, it's like trying to breathe through water. That's what it
Mm.
feels like.
So, what's the atmosphere or the environment kind of like down in those caves?
So, that's why I brought it up was because a lot of these teenagers and 20 somethings and maybe even 30-year-olds and maybe even some older, but I think the majority was like teenage 20 somethings, would go down into these caves. The caves maintain typically around 55 degrees. And we did get some like temperature fluctuation, not enough to really show up where we're like, that's really, really weird. It fluctuated anywhere from like 55 to 58 degrees for us. However, physically, it was a huge difference. I went down there wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt, and then I brought a really light jacket. I thought, oh, I'm definitely going to need this light jacket eventually because you can tell the temperature difference just walking down the main steps to get into the caves. And um Then as we're exploring through the caves, I actually got kind of on the warm side. I was sort of impressed. Um, a lot of the other women and girls that were with us were wearing shorts, and they kept complaining how cold they were. So I can only imagine that if I had worn less clothing, how cold I would have been and probably wouldn't have gotten warm at all. Um, they so then just sitting on the ground, there were multiple times where I felt comfortable, I felt fine just in my jacket. Um, and then there was a part where we had some strange things happen, and I myself and our other investigator, Elena, she also is a medium, and we both got so cold we were shaking. I have some videos that Phantom pieced together for us, and I'm almost certain that towards the end you will be able to see my camera shake a little bit, and it was just simply I couldn't control it. It was so cold. My butt felt numb. It felt like I was sitting in a freezer. That's how cold it got.
Oh, wow. So, were there any, like, spots of warmth or anything like that, or was it all mostly just cold?
No, it was mostly just cold. There were also weirdly enough, there were also certain areas of the cave that, I planted myself, and I could feel, like, wind rushing by me, and there's no way that wind should have been rushing by me. Actually, where I felt that at, I just got to thinking we did have a really weird paranormal thing happen. But let me start off. So, we had, let's see, um 8 of us that were there last night, and then 9 if you included Joel, the gentleman that owns the caves, or is co-owner of the caves that gave us the tour and let us in. So the people that were on our investigation were obviously Nick Downs from Paranormal Lights, the team that I'm on, and Phantom's on. And then we had, like I mentioned, our investigator Elena, and then we also had Nick's brother, Gary. He isn't quite as good as Phantom is via like IT, but he was still, very knowledgeable. So we had him, he set up a 4 thing of video cameras throughout the caves. Um, and then we had, a former football player and his family that have been kind of begging Nick to go on an investigation. And since this was such a big area, Nick said, "Hey, as long as you're willing to, pay your guys' own way, like we're more than willing to accept you in on the investigation." So it was him and his wife. His name was Troy. I do not remember what his wife's name, and I'm so sorry. And then they had a daughter. Her name was Lily, and then she had a friend. And once again, the name escapes me. Um, but we all worked really, really well together. And even though the 2 girls were younger, they were like 13, 14 years old, we typically don't allow, teenagers to be a part of our investigation like that. Um, I have to admit, these girls were very respectful. They asked questions. They were more than willing to do stuff. They were very much willing to follow me wherever I was gonna sit, even if it was sitting in the dark. They just didn't wanna go by themselves, which is understandable. Um, the one part where it felt like Elena and I were sitting in, a freezer, we did kinda have some weird, like I said, paranormal events that happened to us, and the 2 girls did get spooked. So they hightailed it back to where their mom and dad were at, and over by Gary where with the cameras up kind of towards the top of the caves. Um, so the way that the caves are kind of drawn out, I'm going to try to visualize this for you guys, or verbally visualize this for you guys. So you walk down a huge flight of steps, and you kind of enter this room that sort of looks like a cellar, okay? Like a wine cellar, just without shelves of wine. And there is one giant archway, and that you can clearly see goes down into the tunnels of the caves. And um and the floor of all of this is sand. Okay, so keep that in mind. um so it's very slippery. If you ever come to Lincoln, Nebraska and you want to take a tour, do not wear fancy clothes, do not wear fancy shoes, wear something comfortable, something you can move around in, and most definitely wear shoes that you feel sturdy in. Um so you end up going down into the archway, and it kind of tunnels down, I would say, mm, maybe like 10 to 12 feet, not terribly long. You can see to the bottom. There are lots of LED lights that they have strung up above. And actually, let me see if I can share. Let me share a picture. Um, okay, here we go. So this is kind of what you would see upon entering or exiting that like little 10-foot little tunnel area. Okay, and it's big. Like, you don't unless I imagine, unless you're like 7 foot tall, you're not going to need to hunch there. You can stand up straight. The steps going down into there are they are once again covered in sand, just like you see in the picture. And they were carved out, so very unstable ground. Um and like I mentioned, there's lights that go all the way across and into all of the other areas. So when you come down into this tunnel, this is kind of like a long T at the end of that tunnel. And off to your left over here, you can see another like tunnel going down. Okay. Now, this is as if you had placed your back to that entrance and you were looking down this way, down to your right. Um, and if you notice, there's like a wooden barrel thing there. Those were kind of scattered throughout the caves. They are actually movie props. Apparently, the caves were in quite a few movies, including some Egyptian movies, which I think is really cool. Like movies that took place like in ancient Egyptian, like Egypt. So I don't know. I
I never
find that
knew
really
that.
interesting.
That's an interesting piece of trivia I didn't know.
I didn't either, and actually, like the name of the movies, I've never heard any of them before. So I don't think they're like big name brand kind of movies, but nonetheless, it's still kind of cool little history. Um and if you kind of notice, I mean, I in the videos that I'll be showing you, and maybe even in some of the other pictures that I have, you'll notice it a little clearer. But you kind of notice dark bands that almost look black. Those are iron ore deposits. Um, so anyway, so this was kind of where we set up, right there where that barrel was at. That's where we set up like headquarters, because it was literally just kind of a, once again, 10 to 12 feet. I know it looks like it's very far away. It's not from where I was standing. But it legit was like 10 to 12 feet from the entrance to go back up, very quick. And then that bar there that you see, that actually was put in 1908 or '01 or something like that. It was the original like staircase uh stand, whatever you want to call it, that helps you go down the stairs. Yeah.
Okay.
Banister. I don't know
Was
why I
there
couldn't think of that.
Was there like any parts of the cave where it did get really, really confined? Like I know you said
Yes.
something about when we were before we came live that there was like this one little like kind of tight squeeze. Was there any other places like that?
Yes. So, um, we actually ventured down to where that bar is at, and then when you go down, once again, it all T's. Okay, it becomes another long T. So to your left is an area that they call the dance floor. Um, that is legit where they had built a little sound stage where bands would come to play and they would dance. You can actually see in the ground, and I don't know if I got video of it. I hope I did. I'm sorry, I should have taken better photos and whatnot. But there is like you can an indent in the ground that you can tell something had been placed there. That is the beginning of where like the wood platform would have been for where the band was going to play. Then if you face the other way going right, you'll notice that there are, and I do have video of this. I know I do. There are big steps that are man-made. They are going up and kind of curve up, and you'll see like the word exit and that's an entrance and an exit emergency area. Um, but apparently that area used to be attached to underneath a brothel in Lincoln. Um, so I mean, I imagine Prohibition era, this was a great place that people came to enjoy many, many things.
I can imagine.
So that other little tunnel that I was telling you about, that if we were facing the opposite direction from where this picture is taken, and I should have taken a picture of it, but I unfortunately did not. Um, they uh, actually, it kind of, went down, and it entered into that dance floor area. Okay. And once again, in my video, you're going to be able to see that there is an entrance and an exit there. I shine a flashlight, like everything. It's dark, blah, blah, blah. So in that hallway, if you want to call it a hallway, that cave area, there is another little section that it just looks like it's smaller than the width of a door. I would say it's about half the size of a door. Um, and they used to call that the boom boom room or the necking nook, or they would also use it as the bathroom. But once they quit using it as a bathroom, then it became the area to go do things together.
Those names make it sound like a good time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can only imagine how many people were conceived in that area. Um, but so that alone, I really wish I would have gotten video of it. I didn't think twice about getting a video of it, but when we did the tour, I decided I wasn't going to go in there because I was told that it is a tight fit, and it doesn't really go anywhere. It just goes to like a little hall, like not hall, but like a hole area, like a little hole in the wall there. Um, and I kind of thought, like, I don't need to see that. No big deal. Then we were told, oh, well, that's where most of the quartz and the walls are at. So if you shine a flashlight in there, because there's no lighting, the walls actually glitter a lot. And I was like, oh,
Kind
well,
of
that's
wish I
really
could have made
cool.
it because with my flashlights and the black light built in, I wonder what a black light would have done.
Actually, Joel, the gentleman that gave us the tour, he spoke about that, and he said that there are quite a few areas that people have painted or something on the walls. He didn't go into any details other than that, but he said that there are things painted on the walls in black light paint.
Oh, interesting. I
Hmm.
will definitely have to try to get out there sometime.
Yeah. So over, and I know I have a video of this. I know for a fact I have a video of this. So anyway, so let me get back to this nooking, this necking nook. So I decided, all right, the the whole thing of like the tour and that is over. I'm gonna go ahead and go in there. Like I don't feel as rushed going through areas. So I was like, I'll go back there. And Nick was with me, and so was one of the teenage girls. And I had a little click flashlight, excuse me, that actually you when you clicked it on, it went full blast right away. And then if you clicked it again, it would dim that, but then you had to click it again to shut it off, okay? Keep that in mind. So, I clicked it on. Nick is behind me and he's like, "Let me in." And I'm like, "No, I want to go in first. I want to see the quartz. And he's like, "All right, fine. Go in." And at that time, I realized, oh, my flashlight went off. So I was thinking maybe I just didn't click it because the light's on around us and it's very bright. Um, Actually, I can show you. I can show you another photo. Here we go. So as you can see here, it is very bright. There's myself and Gary. This was during the tour of the caves. So things are very bright, you can see a lot. And I was like, oh, I must not have clicked on the button like I thought I had. So I clicked it again, it turned on. And I was like, oh, okay, easy. Went to step in and I watched it go off. And I turned to
What?
Nick and I said, "Didn't you just put new batteries in this?" Like I watched him put batteries in it at his house because this was his flashlight. I didn't have one. And he goes, "Yeah, why?" And I said, "Well, it's keeps shutting off on me." He goes, "Let me see it." And so he does the tapping thing, on his hand and shaking it. And he clicks it on. He goes, "It's working fine." I said, "Well, I know you can turn it on." But I said, "Just wait, it'll shut off." And he's like kind of doing one of these like shining all around. And we were just standing next to the nook area. And he goes, "It's not going off." He goes, "Let me see if I can try." I was like, "Okay." So he had another flashlight. He goes, he turns it on. He begins walking in, and all of a sudden his flashlight went out.
What?
Hmm.
That's crazy.
And I said, Nick? And he goes, "Yeah, where's your flashlight? Do you have a flashlight? Like, I don't know why these aren't staying on." He goes, "That's really weird." And I said, "Yeah, I'll click mine back on." And I clicked it like 3 or 4 times to make sure that it wasn't a glitch or something. And it would go through all the motions of bright, dim, off. Okay. Clicked it on again, went to go in, it clicked off. So I had my phone and I said, "Fuck this." Excuse my language, but I was pissed because I wanted to see the damn quartz. And I was like, I'm just going to use my phone. And by this time, Elena was behind me. She was wanting in, and some of the other people. So we were kind of all standing in a line to get in. And I said, "Well, I don't want to be in there for long. I just want to go quickly in there to see." Because I was trying to save my phone battery to get you guys all video. You're welcome. Um, but I clicked my phone on, and actually at that point one of the teenage girls had slipped in front of me, and Nick was yelling for a flashlight. Well, the girl turned to me and she goes, "Do you have a flashlight?" And I said, "Yeah, here, just hold my phone, that's fine. Like I don't care as long as I can get in there to see too." And so we did all go in there and we all saw the glittery walls, very pretty, very cool. And then we exited, and actually Nick stayed in there, and but myself and the teenage girl, we left. We left the Nook, and he goes, "Hey, where's my flashlight?" And by that time, the girl had already handed me my phone back, and I was like, "Oh, sorry." So clicked it back on and handed it back to him for him to get back out. Which it was like just kind of like he just needed to turn around and come out. But it's pitch black. I mean, pitch black. Um, and yeah, so that was really interesting. Uh Other than that, in that little nook area, we didn't really get much more, but when we were sitting, it was coming from that hallway or that tunnel way that we started getting really weird things. So,
That's crazy with the flashlights, though.
But before all of that, so the guys, Troy, Curtis, no, not Curtis, sorry, Troy, Gary, and Nick, and I think Troy's wife, they were all trying to set up cameras. Oh, and Elena too. I was trying to entertain the girls. They kept asking me paranormal questions and things, so I was trying to talk to them. And I was actually up, excuse me, I was actually up in like the cellar area, which funny enough, I don't want to give too much of the story away as far as, what goes on at the Robber's Cave. But apparently, at one point in time, where their bar is sitting at now, or right around that area, there used to be an old house. And there was this very old lady with her family, and they were very known to be like of ill repute, like you didn't want to mess with them kind of things. And she actually had a group of coyotes that she had tamed that
What?
lived on her, yes, that lived on her property. And you would have to go, if you wanted to go to these caves, you would have to go and knock on her door, and she would come to the door with the cigarette. What do you want? Probably a shotgun. Probably
That impression was great.
yeah. Probably having, I can only imagine that's what she sounded like. Um, probably having, one of the coyotes following her, because they're always nearby and everything. And you would go up there and you would say, I want to go to the caves. I don't know if they called them Robber's Cave at that time, maybe. I think there was another term that they used, but once again, I don't really remember what it was that they used to call them. And she would be like, okay, it's this amount of money then. And you would have to pay her. And then she would have you walk behind the house and down a little ways, down a path in the pitch black darkness. And at that time, obviously, there were no lights in the caves. You would either have a flashlight, or you would have a candle. There is actively, oxygen coming through, but Joel said that, which I didn't look real hard, but apparently in the walls, as you can see behind me and Gary here, there's a lot of carvings. None of us did any carvings. This is all carvings that were made by other people that had come into the caves hundreds of years ago, right? Or, well, maybe not hundreds, but at least 50 plus years. And actually, the oldest carving that they had found was from 1842. Is that what I said to you earlier?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And it said May 1842. So I think it was kind of fitting that we were there during May. Like, it was just, I don't know, I loved that.
It's a sign that you're
Yeah.
supposed to be there at that time.
And when they when they built the bar and everything above, and they made sure that the caves were solid enough for people to go through, and they put in the lighting and all of that great grand stuff, they that was back in 2015. They did have the workers and some of the people that worked there carve their initials or names or whatever, and the year that they were down there. So there are some um carvings from 2015. Um, and actually, I guess teenagers in 1990s used to crawl on their belly to get into Robber's Cave because it wasn't as big of an opening as it is now. Um,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, yeah. It yeah. It was kind of it was kind of interesting as far as that goes. And they did show a couple pictures of some teenagers going in, crawling in, and trying to get in. But back in the 1920s, maybe even earlier, kids, like I said, teenagers, kids, whatever, used to hang out. Let me see if I can find a photo of this. Um, like here's a good picture. Um, these are all college students, and as you can see, there's like hundreds of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, this was actually one of Joel's favorite photos. And let's see here. I will also share um, these other ones that I found. So another big thing that people used to do is they used to go into the caves during the summertime and eat their lunch. There was actually a section that we got to go into that he has since built a little like stopper with almost kind of like a soft like grid around you. And he said, and there was a door that you could open, much like a screen door or something. He said that from winter to spring, that is where uh, the bats would take shelter. And so he said to keep the bats out and to keep them happy so that they still have their spot. He created this, but the bats were all gone when we were there. So he said, you can enter in. He said at one point, he showed us this area. Apparently, at one point in time, they even had a picnic table where you would go down there and you could eat. And as you can see here, they are enjoying some food. Um, so it was a very comfortable, like I said, a very comfortable area. I can only imagine that, in the summertime when they have dances down there in the dance area, that you very rarely would have gotten so warm that you were just like, I'm done. They also have found thousands of spent um, shells from guns going off. And when I was down there, actually over by the dance hall area or dance floor area, um, at the very end, at midnight when we were done, we were only there for 3 hours, but at the end of that, I went to go stand up and I looked at the ground before I placed my hand, and I'm really glad I did. It was covered in pieces of glass.
What?
Yeah, because, they would have drank,
Yeah, I was
and
just gonna say it's probably from alcohol consumption down there, probably from
it
way back in the
was.
day.
And he said that when they actually first entered the caves, it had so much trash and bottles and just things. He goes, there was even a bathtub bit down there.
A bathtub?
I mean, maybe they made bathtub gin in it. Who knows?
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Um, let me share this. This kind of really grainy photo, and I do apologize. Basically, what it is a bunch of young men that are all playing craps. And this picture actually is taken over by where the band played. And I can actually, when I start sharing or when you share the video, I can actually point out where they were at.
Oh,
Um,
nice, nice.
I did find one other photo online. Now, I wasn't shown this during um, the little tour, so I am not 1,000% sure that this actually came from these caves, but I do know for a fact that they did have several different spots where they had built bonfires and that. So this kind of just shows, even if it wasn't the actual caves that I was in, this would have shown exactly how it all would have looked for in the 1920s when other people would have come into the caves and they would have had. Actually, I think this was one. Yeah, I think this was one of the photos that they showed us. Because they're having like kind of a weenie roast or something. Maybe it's actually a s'mores. Looks like.
Kind of looks that way, yeah.
Yeah, but um, as I stated before, there's a lot of interesting things carved into the walls. Now, I personally didn't locate my name, but I also, for some reason, um, I kept getting really distracted by everything. And I mean, the walls are just covered in drawings and initials. And I didn't find my name. Nick told me this morning he found my name. Now whether he actually did, I don't know. Troy from our group, he found his uncle's name carved in there.
Oh,
That
interesting.
was really cool. Yeah. He also found his name carved in the rock at least like 3 or 4 different areas. But let me share the different pictures that I have of drawings. So, like, there were a lot of skulls and that carved into the rocks. Um, a good majority of where those holes are at, if you notice, those actually would have been like where pieces of wood would have that had been soaked in kerosene would have been placed and then lit on fire.
Oh, for like lighting and stuff back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Here is uh kind of a bizarre. I think I didn't mean to take this photo, but I'm going to share it with you all anyway. It's kind of a close up of what like the ground and that looked like because there were some parts where it was very sandy for the most part. But then there were a couple areas that it was muddy like this.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Now, we did experience a storm during this time, and while we didn't have any issues of rain coming down into the caves, um, we could hear the thunder. And Nick said that in the area that they were posted, remember by that barrel, that if when it was quiet enough and the thunder had hit, you could hear the walls just like ting, like ting, from the iron ore.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. And I do remember hearing that at one point in time. But I guess, assumed that it was from the lighting. Here's another really funny, kind of Kool-Aid man sort of esque drawing that I thought was hilarious, and I had to take a picture for you all. But as you can see, once again, above that face, there is like iron ore kind of coming through.
All I can picture now is it busting through the wall going, oh, yeah.
Right. Um, so Joel, our tour guide, real quick, he did said he did say that he has only had one really weird paranormal thing happen to him. Several paranormal investigation teams have come through the caves that um there are investigation teams that are most of them aren't even from Nebraska. He said that a good majority of people that actually tour the caves are not from Nebraska at all.
Yeah, I would
Um,
imagine there's a lot of like out of state, maybe even out of country tourists on that.
he did say that. So I'm going to share this photo. So this is what Joel was telling us. Um, and basically, what happened was, so um, remember that first photo that I showed you of just the caves and you could see the lights going down?
Right.
Well, he entered the cave one day after he turned on the lights and he noticed that the lights were doing like this weird wave thing of like shutting off and turning on, shutting off and turning on. Um and then um there he said that wasn't normal for LED lights and he thought, "Well, that's weird." So he walked down and he stood kind of over where that barrel was at. And about that time, like all the lights in the whole cave was doing this. He noticed because he noticed the lights going down that staircase in front of him were doing that. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, they all went out except for one light bulb directly above where that pipe was at. Okay.
By the
Now,
way, how's it going, Gabe?
hey Gabe. Um, now why this is important and why it pertains to this photo. So the picture below was a picture taken by an investigation team. Hey Patrick, that had gone down there and they got that photo. I don't know if you can see clearly enough, but the photo above it is a very, very famous um, woman in brown, woman in white, whatever you want to call it. From England, I believe, or New England. Oh, criminy! Now I don't even remember, but I know that it's a very famous spirit photo that nobody's been able to ever debunk, and it looks identical to the photo that the spirit team
Uh,
or the
uh,
investigation team caught.
so I'm assuming the picture below. So the picture above is kind of the iconic photo, and then the picture below is the one they took.
Yes. Now, he showed us the video. For the simple fact that this is kind of his thing that he likes to tell people who tour the caves and show people who tour the caves that want to know about paranormal things down there. I simply did not feel okay enough asking him if I could record his video as he was showing it to us. But he paused the video at the very end and he said, "Here's the other really weird thing. At the other end of the tunnels, there's a weird blue light." He goes, none of our lights down here are blue. They're all LED. It should not be blue."
Oh, that's wild, and that's in that photo there on the bottom.
It's not. It's not. I did not take a picture of it. Um, he he I just didn't feel comfortable enough doing it just because I know that that's kind of his thing to show people who tour the caves.
That's pretty neat. I'm definitely
Yeah.
gonna have to make my way out there sometime.
Hmm.
I kind of feel like I missed out a little bit.
So I do want to mention before we share video, So at the very beginning, when they're putting the cameras up, setting those all up, at the time, Troy was, I think, just randomly walking around down there or something. I was with the mom and the two girls and Elena up in the cellar area. We were talking to Joel. And um and Nick, I'm not sure where Nick was at. But anyway, um Gary said, "Hey Laura, I need you to come down here and check something out." And I said, "Okay, what have you got?" So I went down into the caves and I said, what's going on?" And he goes, "Go down." And he goes, "I don't want to tell you anymore. Just tell me what you feel." I said, "Oh, okay." Like, I'm cool with that. So I go down into that main cave entrance area. And I immediately, without even thinking about it, said, "Oh, you don't need to tell me anymore. I already know where it's at. I already know where I'm supposed to go." And I got to the end to where it tees again. And I looked one way and looked the other way and then kind of backed up. And I just said hello. And I think I have video of this. And I said, "Hello. Hello. It's okay. I just want to chat with you." I swear to God, it felt like somebody was standing there over by where the man-made stairs going up through to the emergency exit area was at. Um, and I decided, I'm not feeling hesitation or anything by the spirit. So I was like, I'm going to go around the corner and kind of approach it. And so I began to do that. And as I began to do that, the feeling dissipated. And I said, "Oh," it disappeared. By that time, Gary came down and he said, "Did you feel it? Did you see anything? Did you feel it?" And I said, "I felt it." I said, "But it's gone now." He goes, "No, I don't feel it anymore." And I said, "Yeah." Um, I said, it's no longer down here. Like, I don't know where it went to. I don't know if it went up. Oh, also, one other thing that they mentioned in the tour. So the old lady that was smoking, that has all the coyotes, crazy enough, also owned a daycare. And
What?
she would put the children in the cave to just roam it all day. But okay, keep in mind, this was also back in the day when children as young as 3 or 4, you could hand them a lunch and say, "Here, when you get hungry, eat it." And they didn't need help eating. Like, they didn't need help eating. They didn't need help using the bathroom or anything like that. And they just played down there all day and they were safe because there's
Where
nothing
else are
else
they
to
going to
do.
go?
Yeah, exactly. Um, and so that's, yeah, I found that really interesting.
So in the video footage that you have that we're going to show, you know how you were talking about the flashlight story? Do you guys have that on video?
I don't think we do. I didn't get that because they
Yeah.
ended up using my phone for a light.
Gotcha. So for those that kind of jumped in late to the stream, uh, Laura was telling a story about how they had flashlights. So what was it? Just this little area where it had the quartz?
Real quick in mention to Gabe. Gabe said they can't get lost down there. No, the cave system legit just all combines together. You go down one, actually, there is a small area, and I can point it out in the video. There's an area that it looks like it goes down, and it does. Um, and that is where the tightest area was at. And I was really nervous I was going to get stuck because I'm kind of a bigger girl. I did not get stuck, but I got super muddy going through that. But I can imagine being like 6, 7, maybe even 8 years old and being completely happy crawling through this. But yeah, so you go down into it and you veer off to the left and you're like, "Okay, this is weird." And this is where caves kind of mess with a person's mind because somehow, even though it felt like you were constantly going left, it backtracked around to the front where that barrel was at that everyone else was stationed at.
Oh, so
That's where it
you
exits out at.
you turn and you're thinking you're going straight when reality you're just circling back around.
Yep, yep. And all the other bigger tunnels, which really cool. And I hope I panned up. I don't think I probably did, and I'm really sorry. But over by the dance hall area, you can see in the ceilings where pickaxes came through and like carved out the ceiling.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat.
Yeah.
But tell the ones that tell them that flashlight. Kind of summarize that flashlight story because I think they were kind of jumped
Okay.
in late.
Yeah, no. So basically, like in one of the tunnel areas, they have like this little closety area almost. And it goes back a little bit and kind of curves around. It's not very deep. Um, but they used to call this area the necking nook or the boom boom area. Um, and they would even, this is where those children probably used to go use the bathroom. This is where other people, before it became an area to go necking and doing other things in there. Um, that uh, that was also used as the bathroom down there. So I wanted to go in there. I originally wasn't going to because I was like, it's not that deep. I don't really care. It's just a dark hole for me, not really that interesting. And then I was told that, um, necking, yeah. I was told that, well, I mean, I could get really crude. That's where they went to have sex, plain and simple. Okay. Um,
I think that
so
hint was gathered.
yeah, yeah. So um in that area, that's where a majority of the quartz was at in the walls. So these walls are mainly made up of sandstone, limestone, and iron iron quartz. Um or iron ore, sorry. But there was also crystal quartz in the walls as well. But the majority of it was in this little like necking nook area, right? The boom boom area, which I guess it got the boom boom name in the 1960s and that. So anyway, um, so I was going to go in there first because I wanted to see the sparkly walls. What girl doesn't want to see sparkly walls, right? I had a flashlight that you had to click on. Once you clicked on, it was full blast. And then if you clicked it again, it was very dim. And then you had to click it again to shut it off. Okay. That's very important that you remember that. And so I clicked it on, and then Nick was like kind of fighting with me to get ahead of me. He wanted to go in, and I was like, no. And before I stepped in, I realized, oh, my flashlight's off. So I thought, maybe I just thought I saw it turn on because the rest of the caves were very bright, because it had LED lights running through it. So, like, very, very bright. Like, you could barely see that your flashlight was on unless you had a super powerful flashlight. And I I thought, "Oh, maybe I just didn't click you know, the button that closely. Maybe I just thought I saw the light was on." So I clicked it on again and went to literally go step in, and I had it like this, and it shut off. I did not click it, and once again, I would have had to click it twice to get it to shut off. It just shut off. So my first thought is, well, that's interesting because I'm pretty sure we put new batteries in it. I watched Nick, this was Nick's flashlight. I watched him put new batteries in it before we even left his house to come to the caves. Um, and I had been using the flashlight sporadically in other areas and never had this problem. Um, and Nick said, well, let me try mine. So he had a very similar flashlight. His flashlight kept going off. So finally, I got to the point where I just said, screw it. I'm not going to even mess with my flashlight. I'm just going to use my phone light. And that's what we did. That's what we used to get in there.
Yeah,
But
I thought that was pretty wild though when you first told me, and I'm like, something was in there that didn't want you in there.
yeah, so this wasn't part of video, and I'm really sorry I didn't get this on video because something kept telling me for as long as it happened, something kept telling me you already have your phone ready to like record. I should just record. But I genuinely thought Nick was messing with us. So I was sitting, excuse me, I was sitting on the ground with the two girls on my right side, and Elena was down the cave a little bit, not much, just a few feet. And Nick came down the main entrance and stood there staring at us, talking with us, and was asking us, hey, are you girls okay if we go ahead and shut the lights off and go dark? Like, we're going to start the investigation really hardcore now. And we said, yeah, no, that's completely fine. Well, as we were standing there, you know, I was kind of half looking at him, half not, half looking at him, half not. One point in time, I went to go look at him, and I saw this mist that was probably about the size of a basketball. It floated around his body like this and cut down his hip area towards the ground and went away. But it was very slow how it did it. Well, so I'm sure none of you listening are familiar with our friend Nick. Nick vapes. So my thought right away was, Nick, you freaking vaped. And actually, I said to him, did you just vape down here? And Nick goes,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, because I imagine you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. And he goes, what? No, I didn't vape. Well, Nick is also a joker. And I was like, I stood up at that point and I started walking over to him and I said, no, you freaking vaped. Tell us the truth. You vaped. And he goes, no, I'm not even joking. He starts checking his pockets. He goes, first of all, I wouldn't vape because there's still a spark. And being down here with all of the sand and how dry it is down here, goes, I don't want a flame down here. He goes, I it's in my back pocket. Like, I wouldn't have done it. Well, about that time, Troy comes down the main area and hears us talking about this. And I'm standing over by Nick at this point, and I'm explaining to Nick what I saw. And Troy goes, it smells fruity. And I said, it does kind of smell a little fruity. I said, Nick, come on, like, quit messing with us. Like, you vaped. He goes, no, I really did not. He goes, I'll show you. He goes, I really didn't. And he did take a quick puff. That smoke, first of all, did not stay in a oval like shape. It dissipated and went up.
But this thing before that you saw, it kind of went
This
down.
before came over across him, down by his hip, and down towards the floor. And it didn't dissipate as it was doing this. The only time it dissipated was when it was close to the floor.
Interesting.
But yeah, that was very, very, very interesting. So was it his vape? Because he even said, he goes, I suppose when I shoved it in my back pocket, I accidentally caused it to puff out. But he goes, it would have just floated up. It wouldn't have floated around.
Well, yeah, like, okay, I've got a vape right now, right? It's going up, not down.
Yeah, this definitely went across and over and down. And I wasn't the only one that saw it. Elena saw it too. And like I said, it was long enough that it happened that as it was happening, because I had my phone ready to record pretty much at all times. All I had to do was hit the red button. And something kept telling me I should be recording this. But my stupid brain also logically was like, oh, it's just him vaping.
Sometimes Nick is just going to Nick.
Yeah. So That was another really weird thing. And I think I talk about it on the video. But if you want to go, I did also have a personal experience when I was down in this area by myself. Now, for as many things that we had happen in this area, that they call the dance floor, um, I never once really got super scared. I mean, there were times that it was a little unnerving, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, like, I probably could have sat down there for hours had I not gotten so cold. I was very comfortable.
Well, that's a plus. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always imagined the cave would be like probably hot and humid, but I guess not.
No, it was very cool. It was very nice.
Well, I suppose we've kept them waiting long enough. Shall
I
we
know.
show the
Yes.
video?
Yes. Even I'm excited to see because my sleepy brain, I'm like, what all did I videotape? So whenever you are ready. Perfect.
Yep, I'm ready. We're gonna go ahead and play this, and then we'll just we'll watch it. So basically, this is just a series of little small videos I went ahead and put together for our little presentation today. So
Also, side note, I hope they're all in order. I know that I don't remember if I gave them to Phantom in order, but that's the way he put them. So hopefully I did.
I just put them in the order that they were numbered. So
Yeah, yeah.
if it's a little bit out of order, it's all
And
good.
it's not that big a deal.
Let me know.
I am at Robber's Cave.
Oh, pause it really quick here. I'm so sorry. Real quick. So there were parts of the cave that, for the most part, being in the cave I felt like I was yelling. Like everyone kept saying how they felt like they had cotton in their ears.
You know, when
Um,
you hear the audio, like the audio did catch me off guard because I've got like my headphones in or like my
mhm.
monitoring headphones in. And for a minute, I thought the sound was coming out of my speakers on my computer. I'm like, no, it's coming out of my headphones. So it doesn't sound like it's coming out of my headphones. It sounds like it's coming
Mhm.
out from around me in this room.
Yes, the the sound in there is very bizarre. Certain areas sound almost kind of echoey, but other areas eat the sound. So anyway, proceed. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that area where you saw the steps going up, that's where you would come in.
Oh,
That was the main
gotcha.
entrance, yeah.
Hello?
Oh, that's interesting that it did that. Because that's what
Hello?
that's where um
I
the
paused it.
like yeah, so that's where the staircase to go where the brothel and that would have been. So now it's there's no more brothel there, obviously. So now it just exits to the outside. It's the emergency exit. But as you can see, kind of down in the corner there, you can see like another like area that goes down. That's the tight fit area. And I know I didn't get any video down there because it was so tight fit that I didn't want to drop my phone. And I could barely fit through some of the areas.
Gotcha.
So this is when I was by myself. Over there is where the dance area is at. Ooh,
Don't
pause it
run.
really quick. So, sorry. All these little things that keep coming back. Um so as you can see here, this is the only part of the cave that has like this greenish hue going on. And you would think that that's going to be like mold or something. It's not. It's actually little tiny blades of grass. It's so close to the top, like to the exit, that's little tiny blades of grass growing
I,
up.
I was thinking maybe like moss or something like that.
No, they're little tiny blades of grass. I don't know if I got close enough for that, but I did look at it closely. It was really cool. Anyway, go ahead.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It went away. It went away when I started saying hello. Oh yeah, I was scared to look down here.
So right underneath this moss.
I didn't actually even come over here because
He called it moss, it wasn't.
Maybe I come back because I felt like it was trying to.
Ooh,
These are
darn.
all
Yeah,
the,
I say
the
this.
green that you see is all little blades of grass
I almost said
that
glass.
are growing up.
Glass. So that must be like all the carvings and stuff that people have left over the years.
Mm-hmm. My favorite is that eye there that I had shown earlier.
You went down? Oh, I'm not going down.
I was like, I'm not going down there. And then I did eventually. And I got super muddy. Ugh.
I think it went up.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it went up. And by it, I mean the spirit.
The energy went up. Over here was where they used to actually have dances. And
Sorry, so I repeat myself a lot apparently.
Oh, you're fine.
there's another part of the caves. They would have, here's where the stage started.
Oh, I did show. Yay. Good me.
So the stage would all be here.
Congratulations.
Future Laura.
That is just a design that the guy today started. But back there is where the seat for the drummer used to be.
Oh,
Right here.
I forgot to mention this. So here, I'm going to show you in the wall over by the dance area. They actually found a sphinx carved into the stone. And Joel said that there used to be a secret society that had an altar there. That
No shit.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember the name of the secret society, but he said he tried to Google things about it, and it's so hush hush that there was nothing he could find.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Now I'm curious. Now I kind of want to go do some digging now.
You and I need to go take
Let's see
an
if they're
investigation
back.
here.
We should, like, just without everyone else, just me and you go check it out.
You, me,
was-
yep, you and me and your wife. So this is where the Sphinx is at, and I'll mention that, but I don't say the word Sphinx because I couldn't think at that point. And it wasn't the Illuminati, I can tell you that, but it wasn't Freemasons. But it had a creepy name, kind of like that. But the face of the Sphinx had already fallen off, which is really interesting.
Before I continue, you said something. I know me and you talked about the caves before. You said that there were some areas that might have collapsed already.
So I did ask Joel about that, and he said that's just folklore. That these caves actually never went all as he goes. They did go as far as like they would exit out towards Wilderness Park, but he goes those those parts of the cave have never collapsed. It's just that to get to those areas, you would have to shimmy through a super tiny area. So like people just don't do it anymore because it's dangerous.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Is an Egyptian design, and this used to be like an area where they had different things.
AKA an altar.
And right before I moved over here to this area, I was standing right here. And I heard.
Did you hear that squeak?
Yeah, I heard that.
Back it up just a smidge. Let's hear that again. I didn't hear that in real life. I would have made a comment about it.
And right before I moved over here to this area, I was standing right here.
Maybe I need to go back a little more. Hold on. Let's go back. Okay, so let's replay it again from here.
An Egyptian design, and this used to be like an area where they had different things. And right before I moved over here to this area, I was standing right here.
Yeah, that squeak that just played.
It's weird. That's weird. I explain it later in the video. We kept hearing a female voice. There's
Oh,
definitely
okay.
a female
So,
spirit energy down there.
because I thought maybe there was someone else around you. I'm assuming you're by
I'm there
yourself.
by myself down in this area.
Oh, okay. See, that adds a lot of context to this.
Yep.
And
Everyone
I
else
heard-
was up by that upper area setting up the cameras.
Oh, okay. So who was that? Was that you?
Yes, but I explained better. I huffed like that as I was standing in that area. I don't think I had recorded it. And as I went like that lightly myself, because this is like a leg workout down there. I know it doesn't look like it, but the floor is very uneven. There's lots of little steps that you don't even notice. Like my bones, my joints were like hurting at this point. And so I just kind of did that. And as I did that, something else on my right or my left side did it too.
Oh.
I explain it in here.
Now, whether or not that was just myself or something else.
Because I heard you, but I didn't hear anything else.
Back it up just a little bit. I heard it again as I was explaining to you all. Play it all the way through.
Okay, here, let me back up more.
No, you were good. Okay.
And I heard. Now, whether or not that was just myself or something else.
Okay, maybe now I didn't hear it, so maybe it was just me walking.
Yeah, it's going crazy outside.
Oh, is it really?
So we have that, and hopefully it'll pick something up that is a music box that will go off if something walks in front of it. I'm going to demonstrate.
Oh, that
See, it doesn't even
thing.
take much.
I like that thing.
Hello? Hello? Oh.
I don't remember taking this video. Okay, so this is that tight little area. Remember when I said, "Oh no, I'm not going down there." This is down there.
Oh. So you went down there anyway.
I don't remember taking video because I was so nervous about being down there because Troy, Gary, and the teenage girls all felt weird things in that area.
Interesting. So you don't remember recording down there at all?
Not in this area, no, because I thought I stuck my phone in my pocket, but I must have been carrying it.
Oh, the feeling like right there was weird.
See, the girls are up at the top. I think I'll show it. Yep, there they are. They're
Oh,
all-
okay.
Weird. Okay.
Do you want us to go with you?
I was trying to debate whether or not I wanted to backtrack or go up that.
Do you want to come this way or no?
I'm good with you. As long as you're with me, I'm fine.
All
I
right.
think going up.
Oh, look at Laura being the little shepherd.
Maybe.
I know. The girls, they just followed me, and I was just,
So
yeah.
just a little bit ago,
That's going off. Was there anyone
Yeah,
close?
people are over there.
there was a lovely little mist that came all the way down across Nick. Nick was standing literally right here. What, Nick? Hey, can you turn that camera just slightly to the right a little bit?
There were teenage girls standing
Like
next
that?
to us.
Little to the left. Right there. Perfect.
Hey, let's go check out the back end.
I'm sitting there, as you can
and
tell. There was
you're good.
Troy and the girls and their mom.
We saw the mist and it came across. It was not Nick vaping because he vaped afterwards. However, we could smell the vape, but when he did,
Maybe they have vapes in the afterlife.
I don't know. I honestly, I mean, it could have been one of those scenarios where maybe the spirit manipulated his vape to go off and then used that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but
Maybe it wasn't
again,
anything paranormal at all. I don't know.
it might not be. But again, yeah, it would have gone up instead of down. It's that it going down part that's kind of got me.
It was really weird.
Do the vape, it went upward and not down and crossed him. Hello? I know there's a lot of us down here, but if you're here, you can come over and say hi to us.
I had a feeling that the spirit that was there was very scared of us. There were a lot of us there.
Is there too much noise down here?
If you're here with us, can you tell us your name?
I'm guessing someone walked by it.
Elena's down there and she said, I just set that off. She
Can
kept
you do something for
doing
us?
things, I don't know, waving her arms or something.
To be fair though, that thing is super sensitive. When we went to the house using that thing the one time, it was
Mhm.
constantly going off if you even looked at it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make the toy go off?
We had cat balls. Sorry, finger.
Make the toy
We
go
had
off.
cat balls in a couple
You can
places
touch
down
any
there.
of the stuff over there.
That's a REM pod that was on the
We are going to
ground.
be sitting here in the dark here pretty soon. And hopefully we will get something.
Hopefully we'll survive.
The girls hopefully will survive.
Or a bird.
Or a bird. I'm just trying to look for something that might live.
Oh, okay, so I must not have recorded it. So at one point in time, Nick and Gary both started yelling at me, "Get up here, Laura. They're calling for you." They had turned on what Nick likes to call his spirit portal. It's basically he turned it's like a giant spirit box. Is what it is.
Basically, what he did was he took a normal spirit box and hooked it up to a bunch of guitar pedals. That's what he did.
Yeah. And apparently it was saying my name. So I went up there and I began talking to it and I said, "Are you and just for poops and giggles, because if I know Gabe's familiar with us playing Phasmophobia, anytime there's a spirit box involved, I hear Phantom saying in my head, 'Where are you?'" So I said that, "Where are you?"
That's
And then-
fantastic.
And the spirit box said buried. And there were
Oh.
two other people that had their phones set up to like spirit box capacity or whatever, an app. And Nick said hell. Gary's said, I want to say sinful or something like that. But it was just very interesting. And then there were moments where I said, "Where should I find you at?" And it said bird. And we were like, "Do we need to look for a bird?" And so that's why in that one, I was like, the one girl was like, "I'm looking for a bird carving, So
Oh, okay. So that makes sense
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Apparently there's orbs around here. I'm not
I
seeing
wish I would have
anything.
gotten. I really, really, really wish I would have gotten them
Right,
yelling.
right there
So
as I paused it. But to be fair, when
no,
it comes,
that is not actually an orb. That is just the light from that's one of the cameras and it has night vision. That's the light from that reflecting off of my.
that's kind of what I figured.
Yeah.
So when it
Yeah.
comes to like capturing orbs in general, like even in real life, I don't put a lot of stock into that because there's always could be.
Mhm.
In some rare cases, it's hard to explain, but 99% of the time, there is a explanation for it.
So I do agree with you. I absolutely hate orbs. Anytime people mention it, it makes me cringe. However, in this case, first of all, as you can see, I am recording quite a bit. Okay. In none of my photo or in none of my pictures do you see orbs. With the exception of this. Like, obviously, if I hit the light, you're going to see orbs. But I mean, like, there's nothing flying around in the air. There weren't bugs down there. There is not a constant stream of wind coming through. So it's not possible, right? Nick and all the others that were up by the cameras said that they saw from across the cave from me, because I'm sitting down across from me, directly across from me, something got picked up from the ground and thrown at me, and I think it was either the girls or Alina. I don't remember who was sitting next to me at the time. But there were things being thrown at us. We didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. Nothing looked disturbed to me, but they all saw it. Now, I do think that Troy took a video of it. I just don't know him personally enough to be able to get the video. Maybe later on, if Nick happens to get the video of that, I can share it with you all. But
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And there were 2 specific lights that are still on. A little bit.
Okay, so the girls are still sitting next to me.
Okay, so it's not picking me up.
Well, that was interesting. Did you see that fog? Now, granted, I probably did go. I know I did go, or me or one of the girls, but it's not cold enough down there that it showed our breath.
Yeah, I went back. I'm gonna check it out.
I'm not seeing anything.
And there were
Are you talking about like
2 specific lights that are still on.
Right after this, watch.
A little bit.
Okay, maybe it was just the light. Never mind. It looked like fog when I first saw it. Sorry.
You know, for a minute I thought maybe I might have been fog too, but I think it's just the lighting.
Sorry.
Did somebody just now say something?
That sounds like Nick.
And I don't know why he was whispering.
What's that?
I don't know why he was whispering. And then Nick was saying, what is up on that stage area? And on my video camera, as you can see, you don't see anything other than the light from you can see the stuff, and you can see the red light from the automatic music box kind of reflecting off everything. But in the dark, when you're not looking through my camera, it's pitch black in there, and it looked like somebody was standing there.
Oh.
So that's why I'm going, oh shit, what's over there?
My camera, it doesn't look like anything. But just looking, it kind of does look like somebody standing there.
Okay, so I'm
That
guessing
freaked
that little
the girls out.
Yeah, okay, so that dot I think might have been a laser, that green dot in the upper right-hand corner. Did you see that?
No, there was no laser. Nobody had a laser. I do see that green. I don't know
Here.
where that came from.
Yeah, let's replay that.
Oh shit, what is that? In my camera, it doesn't look like anything. But just look.
Oh, I did see that. I don't know where that's from.
Yeah, see that green light?
Standing there.
What is that?
It
You
wasn't
don't know
from
what
any of our stuff. I didn't even acknowledge it.
Chat, you see that, right? That's crazy. We just saw something. So nobody had a laser pointer or anything like that?
No, we did not use a laser at all. No laser grid or anything.
Yeah, because it's just buzzing around.
Yeah.
But
Well, what's that green light there, though?
I don't know.
like just
So nobody had a green. Yeah.
Nobody had a green light.
So yeah, there's this green light just going around.
And I wasn't even looking at my phone. I was recording, but I was looking at the dark at it because on my recording I couldn't see the person standing there, but in real life I could see a person standing there.
Gabe says,
That's
"I've
why
tried
I
ghost."
said, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so you see what Gabe said on chat,
Yeah.
but that's wild. I was thinking, okay, maybe someone had a laser pointer. Like you didn't bring a
No.
laser grid with you
No,
or
not
anything
at
like
all.
that.
Nobody had
Okay.
any of that.
Okay, interesting.
I'm not even joking about that. Nobody had any of that.
Like just shining my light.
And you don't seem to acknowledge it in the video.
No.
I don't see anything.
Not like a little child, not an adult, but like a teen.
Like us? Like us?
That's why I asked, did anybody just say anything?
No.
That's not me, is it?
That light? No, that shouldn't be you.
Hi, hon. Will you talk to us?
Are you gonna pull the whole thing that like you do in Faz here? Where like you want to be my friend?
Maybe.
What is that tinging noise?
It's when there's thunder, it's vibrating the rails.
I just heard a tink over here.
Well, I'm hearing the
That was my phone, hon.
spirit
Okay,
box
so
making
is that
noises.
what
Those teenagers are freaking out.
Well,
They
are
were.
in the spirit box?
Yeah.
Well, I just keep hearing them. Oh my
That
god,
was
my phone
you.
keeps going to ghost tube box, and that's not what I'm looking for.
Sorry.
It's okay.
My phone keeps doing it.
I'm just paranoid. Yeah, we're getting paranoid. My legs are cramping up once you said that. They're just out of figure.
All of a sudden, my butt like really got sore sitting there for some reason.
My butt did get sore in this spot for some reason. I don't know why. It didn't get sore sitting anywhere else. But this particular spot, it made my lower back and my butt hurt.
Well, I can't imagine there's any soft places to be sitting down in there.
I mean, it's all sand. So it's like a dirty sand, dirt sand area.
But you don't want to whisper.
Yeah, it pissed me off that Nick kept whispering because that's rule number one of ghost hunting, especially when trying to get like EVP. You don't whisper.
Yeah, because that can throw the whole thing off.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is obviously that blue light.
Yep.
But that green dot in the
I
light.
see that like green hue again. No idea where that's coming from. At this point, the girls were gone. I was the only one sitting over there because I'll pan over and Elena was over
If you're
here.
here, you can talk with us.
And
That was me. I was rubbing
oh, so apparently the girls were still sitting there. But
Also, is that just me? But over there, like, it just looks on the sand. It looks significantly like someone carved their name.
Like,
Is it okay if I shine my light really quick?
yeah.
Like right there, it like looks like that. But
I'm kind of sad I didn't make it because I could have brought my flashlights with. They're really high
Mhm.
lumens with the black light built in. I think that
and
would have been.
we could have used the dot projector, to be honest.
Yeah, I could have brought my dot projector too.
And maybe Gabe, you're right. Maybe it was staring at me. I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But when you turn off the light, if you just look at it, it kind of looks like
Oh, it does.
N something.
Here I am.
is
I was
down
trying to
here
get a
with us.
selfie in the dark, and I was realizing like, oh, I'm recording
It
instead of
almost
taking.
sounded like Laura.
Who's down here?
But now you're whispering.
I know.
I wish they would talk quieter a bit.
Apparently, things were being thrown at me in the camera, and the girls got scared and ran away. Alina
I'm moving closer. Something I feel like I need to move closer.
and myself are down here.
She had custom made dowsing
Show me
rods.
where
So
they are at.
Yeah, I remember her bringing those the last time.
no, these are brand new.
Fuck you.
Oh, they're different ones from the ones she had it when we went to that house.
Apparently, yeah.
I don't know. It kind of rolled it.
Are you directly in front of us?
But they didn't really want to talk with her either, which was really interesting to me.
They always all want to talk to you.
I'm just nice like that. Oh, I hope I got...
Why do I... Hold up.
Sorry, so many fingers.
Somebody's hanging
Whoa,
out.
whoa, 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 whoa! What was that? Was
What?
that just a flashlight?
Why do I... Hold up.
Look. So after your finger moves, look over into that dark area. Did you see that go by?
That orb. Yeah, no, I didn't see that, but that might have been, so out of all the videos that I took, there was one video that I know I got some orbs on because I was like, that's interesting. I haven't gotten orbs the whole night until now.
Yep, right there. I am the master at pausing. Yeah, that little thing right in the center. That's so. That's bizarre. Okay, sorry, I had to check my messages.
No, you're fine. I'm glad you said something here. So,
Somebody's hanging out
So
around
I will
there.
definitely.
and if you hear me saying somebody's hanging out right there,
do you say that?
so back it up. I'm telling you, let it play all
Alright.
the way through.
Sorry. Okay, let's go back. We're just gonna play it all the way through. Sorry, my phone was going off because people like to get a hold of me today. So the little thing flies by.
Somebody's hanging out around there.
That's wild. Okay.
I'm telling you, y'all. I know where the spirits are at. They talk to me.
Okay, so that might be a short for sure.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want to come around. It's like they're unsure. And I said, I think they're nervous about the equipment because I don't think they know what it is.
I think that they are nervous about all the people. That's her spirit box app on
Yeah,
her phone.
I figured that was the spirit box.
It was okay. It did say some things that were interesting.
So does a spirit box on the phone actually work?
I don't like the one that she has personally. It made a lot of no nonsense words.
Yeah, because I would think that it would be better to have an actual one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Didn't Nick bring his? Well, yeah, that's right. He did. He brought his spirit portal, whatever nonsense name he wants to give it.
I did, Josh. I went ghost hunting.
Wait, did I just see that again?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I did not catch any orbs whatsoever until the very end. But the others up at the top
Yeah, it was there.
that had those cameras that were watching everything in the dark, they kept saying things are being thrown at you, things are being thrown at us.
Yeah, because I just saw that go by again, and that is not a reflection or anything. It was just, and like I said, it lines up because as soon as it flew by on screen, you were like, "There's someone over there."
Yeah.
Oh, it's playing. It was just really still.
Yes, sometimes I just hit record and
that?
just
Did you hear footsteps?
back it up.
Who's
I want to
coming
see if you can hear that because at one point in time we can hear footsteps.
And just as you told me to pause, by the way, do you see this mist? This came into frame.
No, but I kept seeing mist out of the corner of my eye ever since we saw before.
All right, I'm gonna play it again. Look at the top.
Yeah.
And that
Who's
flew.
coming down?
Yeah, what was that?
I have no idea.
This is awesome. You captured so much stuff.
I'm glad I did.
I'm happy that I waited till stream to watch this.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, you need to announce yourself, sir.
And then
Well, so we heard footsteps before he even began coming down. He had just begun coming down. We heard footsteps. Her and I, we make a comment yeah, you just heard footsteps. I just heard footsteps. Then all of a sudden we heard footsteps and they kept coming closer. And that's when I was like, who's coming down? Because I was like, that's this different footsteps than what we just heard.
Wow, yeah, your videos are these are great videos. I'm glad you got these.
Didn't know how far I could go without. I'm trying to duck without hitting my head, so I apologize.
Oh,
See, he's
you're
at the
fine.
top of this hall trying to still come down the steps.
Yeah, and there's still stuff
Oh.
flying by on screen, and you can see what looks like there's someone back there with a flashlight. I'm guessing, probably Nick or something.
No, that's Troy.
Interesting. Oh, we heard footsteps beforehand, but I also heard a female over here.
Oh, okay.
Hannah. Sorry.
So, and I've been seeing these orbs and stuff. Now, like I said, we've talked about orbs before. 9 times out of 10, it could be a reflection, it could be a bug. But you're saying that down there, there's
no bugs whatsoever down there. Absolutely none. I didn't see a spider, nothing. There is no wind. And keep in mind, there was a massive storm brewing outside at this point. There was no wind.
Right. I mean, and the cave is pretty closed off, so there's no way that the storm could be affecting anything.
There's some slight holes going up, but it's not in the area that we were at. That's on other areas of the cave. The area we were at was completely closed off.
Gotcha. All right. Let's go ahead and continue.
I just saw orbs. Hey guys, are you seeing orbs on the camera? I just saw an orb over here. Oh, there's
more stuff.
Hair in that. Yeah.
That was because I was waving my hand.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because that last part looked like maybe some hair got in front of the lens.
Yeah. But
can you show me where you are at?
Yeah, there is something that just constantly keeps flying by the screen.
And like I said, I typically hate orbs, absolutely despise them for any kind of evidence.
Oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of them either. But in this particular case,
look at how much video I took prior to that.
Right,
and there were no orbs whatsoever, and now all of a sudden there's orbs.
Right,
Weird.
and you could use the argument, maybe like light reflections or something like that. But light reflections don't work like that, especially when you're panning.
I mean, if there were orbs because of me moving around, someone else moving around, we would have been seeing them all the time.
Right. Yeah, because we weren't seeing any of this stuff, and then all of a sudden, here towards the end,
there's quite a bit in the dark like this that I've taken video. It's not till the very end. Now this is right at midnight.
Oh, okay.
Hi, honey. Look how the light's reflecting in my camera.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Is it coming from the IR?
It could be. Yeah, it might be. I guess it is.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that, by the way, to kind of show the difference between what we've been seeing and then what that is.
Are you nervous about our equipment?
Okay, I'm down here. Oh, I didn't want my light on. Can you do something again to us?
Why would you say that?
It was nice.
Nick's creeper. Did you like to dance down here? Oh, I just saw a shape. Did you come down here and drink? You don't have to be scared. I'm not a cop.
Now, here's where I thought it was a little interesting because once again, you know, I had video prior to me showing this last little bit here of that tunnely area, and the light was
Reflecting.
reflecting, thank you, um differently than I feel like it did in the very end of this
Right.
video. Right after I mentioned, I just saw a shape move like this. You can see my hand go.
Right.
The wall there got weirdly distorted. I don't know if you noticed that. Now, once again, that could have been just because I flung my hand in front of it, but
Yeah, we'll go back to that. One thing I find interesting too is how like now all of a sudden it seems like some of the activity is starting to die down a little bit. Like you're not capturing as much.
So I will tell you that Joel said that all of the paranormal investigation teams, like you basically pay per hour. So if we wanted to stay there for 4 hours, 5 hours, however long, it's like approximately $22 to $25 an hour. So we stayed for 3 hours, but Joel said, but usually by the 3 hour mark, he goes, usually why I offer 3 hours as opposed to longer or shorter. He goes, you can always do shorter. He said, is because by that time people are freezing. And at this point, I'm actually shocked I didn't mention how cold I was because Elena kept complaining about coldness. And I'm shocked my camera isn't shaking because I legit was sitting there like shaking because I was so cold at that point.
Yeah, I can't
And
imagine. Like so how cold would you say it gets down there? Like
no,
say
I mean
you've
it's supposed to be at a steady 55 at all times, but at that point, for some reason, it felt like we were sitting in a freezer.
okay, see, and that's another good indicator right there.
Hmm.
Okay. So this is about where you said you saw some shapes
Yep.
over there.
Can you tell us your favorite song? Were you in the band?
Did I not go back far enough, I
No,
wonder?
you're right. You're right. Keep playing.
Can you just
Look.
talk with us?
Oh wait, hang on. It's Oh, maybe you didn't go back far enough. You must not have.
Here, let me go back a little bit more because I think maybe I didn't. Let's go back right about
I was gonna say go about there.
right here.
That's where it is because I remember. Okay, go back just a little bit further, not by much. Because that's what I noticed is that wall lit up, and it never happened during the other times. Okay,
Right.
play.
Do you like to dance down here? Oh, I just saw another.
Oh
just
yeah,
saw
like you can kind of see the
Oh
light.
no, it's even more.
a
Just
shape.
play. Look, do you see that?
Oh yeah,
That wall does not do that any other time.
and you can kind of see it kind of like raying a little bit, like the light rays. And that's never any other time you've panned over there. That never happened.
No,
Now, could it be light reflection? Yeah, possibly.
but it never did it any other time.
Did you come down here and drink?
Because I pan over there multiple times.
You don't have to be scared. I'm not a cop.
See?
See now,
Once again, didn't do it.
yeah, there's like a little bit of reflection, but not like what
Not
you
like
had
it
just
was.
Can you
seen.
tell us your favorite song? Were you in the band?
Yeah. Okay.
Can
So
you just talk with us?
And as
yeah,
soon as I begin to pan, that light goes back to normal in that area.
Yeah.
And when I panned that one time, it didn't go back to normal.
Yep. So that was pretty much the end of these videos.
Yeah. There is a video that Nick took of me where I'm explaining the breath that I heard.
Yep. I'm going to pull that up here in just a second because I accidentally closed the window because I'm a dumbass.
Nah.
No, don't do that. I want to play it. It just keeps re-downloading it. I don't want it to do that.
It was freaky, Gabe. But it, I never once felt terrified. I mean, there were times that I was like, "Ugh, no, I don't want to go down there," just because I don't like the dark. But I never once like I would have walked those caves by myself in the light, completely fine. I didn't feel creeped out at all. I felt very much at home. It was really weird.
I'm gonna have to do this different because this video is a different format. It won't let me do it through.
Oh
that.
no!
So I'm gonna play it through my media player. So give me a minute.
No, Josh, I did not. It was the. If anything, the spirit that I feel like we connected with, was that of a young teen. One thing that Elena and I, when we were, same Gabe, Elena and I, when we were sitting there, we were discussing the spirit and like how we think it was scared and everything. And I said, I get the feeling that it was very much female energy. And she agreed. And I said, well, so one of the ways that I get my information from spirits is it's either a thought or a picture or an image in my head that is not of my own. Like it's just something that keeps shown to me. And I kept hearing a female screaming, almost like somebody was pulling her hair, in my head. And I tell Elena that. Now, well after we have already taken down everything, wrapped up, and we were talking with Joel, and he was telling us about the light situation at the very end, he casually, we didn't mention this, he casually mentioned there was a lot of female abuse down there.
Yeah.
Elena and I looked at each other and I go, like, yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. I'm gonna share it through my media player. So just to kind of like kind of a disclosure to everyone, because I'm having to share it this way, there could be a weird audio echo. We've run into this before. So what I'll do is we'll go through, we'll play it. I won't say anything, and if you want to comment on it, I'll just hide it on stream so that they don't get that. So.
Okay, so I was standing right here videotaping, talking about the dance floor and everything. Gary was down by the stairs. He had went down into the tunnel where the light is at. And he came back up and I said, Gary, I just heard, I went like this to myself. And right as I did that, I heard another behind me, like over here.
You literally scared the shit out of me when you popped around that corner.
I had said, yeah, I had something.
And there's Troy.
Like breathe in my ear right over here. I was standing right here and I heard it. I had just breathed heavy, and right after I did it, something else did it. It was not me, because I would have noticed if it was me that was breathing at me.
And then right here, as you said, that used to be the Sphinx.
Yeah, in the altar.
Do you want a REM pod or a music box in here?
Yeah, I think we should set
the REM
Set the
I
music
think we
box
should
there.
set something
Yeah.
on top of that.
You will love this tool. It is so neat.
I love the music
The music
box.
box.
To
I
be
found my
honest.
first
I just
actual
don't
like
have
little
an extra
plant that's growing out of the
$200
ceiling.
for one
Oh, did you?
of
It's so
those
cool.
singers.
Wait, was
right
it-
on that like tiny little tunnel?
Oh, because I saw some fuzzies down
This
over
is
there.
legit a plant growing out of it. It's so cool.
Is it but down in the tunnel?
Yeah, you gotta go down just slightly,
Well,
but it's growing out of the ceiling.
You guys will be setting it off, just so you're aware. Just because of the radius.
So you'll
of
hear
it.
that. So if we're going to step back,
Yeah, there's the images over here is way different. It's got like a.
Oh, you can hear that thunder.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's going crazy.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, you can see in his video. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm all.
You can see the pickaxe marks in the ceiling.
Oh, okay, cool.
Have that, and hopefully it'll pick something up. That is a music box that will go off if something walks in front of it. I'm gonna demonstrate. See, it doesn't even take much. If anything is here, can you walk by that?
I love the song that it plays. I know, it's pretty.
Sometime tonight, can you just walk by that? Walk on top of the stage. What is going on?
To be fair, they creep me out sometimes too.
You can come down. Where is that at?
It's really like down below, kind of where my dad was earlier. He was in that little cave over there because I asked him to go down there, and then he was setting up the lights.
It's still mind blowing that you girls went down that tunnel just to come down that tunnel.
Oh, it is kind of weird.
If there's anybody in here that would like to dance around to make that music box go off, we would like to see your dance moves.
Earlier when the guy was giving us the tour over here, he was like, yeah, see, it's like air underneath here. And I was thinking, don't pound too hard. This is all freaking sand.
Right?
It's gonna go down.
That's, I thought the same thing.
That's a music box. It's tilted that way. Anything that passes in front of it,
Just
you just go
physically
ahead and walk in
hold,
front
right?
of it.
I'm more expert than you. I know what this stuff is.
Did you go into the little closet area with
Oh, you know what? The light,
Yep, see that.
the green light. I bet it came from her tool.
Oh, from the EMF reader.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're normally not that bright enough to do that. But that is a possible explanation for sure.
That's what's gonna
That's
Oh,
what will
yeah.
happen if she's walking.
I've
All
seen
right,
that.
move back out.
It's scary. Like, I don't like that. We couldn't have chosen.
You don't
a
like that?
happy
I
meat.
love that.
I
It's
love
so
it.
Like,
fun.
happy
But you
birthday.
see
Well,
how...
it's fun, but it's like
the
me,
cat
though, like,
balls.
Yeah,
spread 'em out.
I'm gonna go grab them. But
do you wanna
did you notice how close that she got to it, and then it goes off? But when you walk away, nothing happened. But when
But when
you
I
walked
walked
away,
away,
it did
something
it
happened.
again.
That is true.
So go try that
Maybe
again.
let's go.
Oh, so she's not a girl?
Maybe.
No, she's a rat.
Really?
I thought she was calling me a rat.
Because Dad was
Oh.
found her off the street.
Oh wait.
See, it follows.
I'm gonna go.
Okay, now have her.
Somebody else do exactly what I
I'll do
just
that, I'll do
did.
that.
Well, there's definitely some
Here,
up
wait,
here
I'll
because
do this
I
too,
didn't
so-
have
Yeah.
a headache till I came.
That's good.
You have a headache?
Yeah,
I took migraine medicine before I came, so.
I did too. Actually.
well, I didn't have a headache today.
But it didn't do
All right,
it
but
for
see,
her.
you've already marked. You've already seen. Here, it doesn't do anything until you get to about
There.
here. Okay.
That sets it off.
Right.
Backwards,
So.
To be fair, that thing is so overly sensitive.
So it is. However, it was just really weird. And maybe it's a difference. I mean, these girls were awful skinny compared to me. But when I walked away, it came back on. And when they walked away, until we began to try to debunk it, it went off as they were walking away.
Gotcha.
See, but here's the line to the dance floor,
Yeah.
or to the.
It's like
Where the stage was at officially was right through
yeah,
there.
it's
Yeah.
like right here,
That
like in
works.
this little divot. Well, then here, let's the REM pod.
Okay.
Ooh, what does that do?
Yeah, there's something definitely here.
Yeah, later if you want me to show you where it went off. Like, cause it didn't go that far.
Is
just
it
went
down
to
there?
zero.
Am I supposed to click this? Or
Nope,
no?
it's on all the time. Just walk
I don't
up
got the best
to the go to the
paintball.
back side of
The
it.
only thing
Right
is
next to
'cause
one.
he
He
was
doesn't
on
either
the-
right now, to be quite honest.
The voices are getting louder, yes.
What does that mean?
Hmm?
Your
What's the blue
foot.
one?
Oh yeah.
So
I
that
know.
is a REM pod, which picks up
But
electromagnetic
it was, like,
energy.
The very
And
last step.
when something,
All right.
like, let's say, a ghost or a
Here,
spirit
you
or
wanna
something
help
comes
them put
by,
this away?
Or a cat.
it'll do that.
My cat was like with it.
We're gonna go down there, Nick.
Huh?
We're gonna go down here just to see.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a great experience. Phantom, I think you and I should see if we can book like 2 hours or something down there. Because I would go back again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would definitely love to go down in there for sure.
Yeah.
Gabe, I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. They talk. No. Yeah, I think we all have those voices. But no, yeah, you got some pretty good stuff on that video for sure.
Yeah, and you know, I do realize that like LED lights do take a while to like heat up and whatnot. However, there also was a point halfway through the investigation where the lights had already been on for hours and they were just like normal lights. And then we were sitting there. I was there with the two teenage girls, and I wasn't going to make a comment about it because I thought it was just the lights being lights. But the girls said, "Did it just get brighter in here?" And I said, "Yeah, I noticed that too. I was thinking maybe it was just the lights, but I don't know. It was kind of interesting." Another thing I did not show, and I'm really sad I didn't, but in the one video where I'm like talking about the little blades of grass, which I thought was so fascinating and cool, I should have shown above where the lights were at because one of the LED light bulbs, now he showed us a light bulb towards the front that's beginning to go out. And like it's on, but it's like kind of flashy, you know, but it's on. It doesn't actually go out and flash on, you know, but it vibrates kind of almost, you know. And that's what LEDs do when they begin to go out. Now, this particular light down there actually began to like turn off and on, off and on. It was really wild. And then the rest of the investigation, it didn't do that at all.
Joshua the J does say he would love. I'd love to see Phantom Ghost Hunt. Well, there's gonna come a point where you're probably gonna see it for sure. There's a smile on your face, like I'm gonna get you out on another investigation.
It'll be good. It'll be fun.
But yeah, no, that was some good stuff. For sure. I'm glad you took that.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like Nick's video was interesting, but I felt like a lot of your stuff was very compelling for sure.
Yeah. And like I said, there's still like plenty of other videos that other people took. I think mainly Troy took a lot. But I don't have access to those, unfortunately. Nick tried to send me a couple other videos that he had taken throughout the night, but for whatever reason, his phone like refused to be able to send them. It kept telling him that his stuff was basically, I guess, full. And so he tried to delete some other things to be able to send it, but I don't know. He was having issues. Anyway, thank you, Gabe. I'm glad you guys all enjoyed the videos and my stories and whatnot.
Yeah, this was good. I'm glad you went and did that. I felt like that made this a pretty awesome stream to do. I'm definitely I'm gonna be making some videos and posting some of this stuff up on the channel. So if you guys want to go back and see it, you guys will be able to go back and watch that stuff. So.
Also, if you have TikTok, like many of us do, you can find us. Phantom, is yours under PhantomGB?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and they have. I also post stuff on my YouTube, which these guys know.
Okay. Yeah. And if you see who he follows, you'll be able to find me and become my friend on there. I'll like you.
I have your information down in our description every time, so they can just go down to the description and it's got all of the stuff to everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
But if you guys have anything you want us to talk about, or you have a story of your own that maybe you have an experience or something, email us at the email at the top there, trifoldparanormal@gmail.com. It could be anything. It could be a story you want us to, that maybe you have experienced something. We can talk about it on stream or in a video, or if there's just something you want us to cover, email us there and we'll definitely consider checking it out for sure.
Definitely. And this won't be the only ghost investigation this year. I think we, as a team for Paranormal Lights, we plan on going to several other locations. So who knows where we'll end up next?
Right. I know that there's probably some planning in the work. I know based off of the chat that I saw, I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I personally would love to go to the Viscala murder house. I know that you probably don't want to go back there.
I really don't. I mean, as much as I love you, Phantom, I don't know if I would even feel safe enough going there with you.
No, and that's fine. I completely understand that.
I would be on the grounds, though, as long as I never had to enter the house.
You could be the van princess.
That's what Nick called me. But I was not the van princess this time. I was out in the field. I stayed out there the whole time. My sanity would have been zilch.
We'll have to figure out a place we can go. I mean, and we can, there's plenty of other people I know that I think have activity in their house we can go check out.
Ooh, yes.
So we could definitely do that.
Yes. Actually, if you do know that, I don't even want to know anything prior. And when we get close, I'm going to blindfold myself and have you help me walk in, and I'm going to describe what I see in my mind's eye. I've done this once before, and we never did videotape it, but I was 100% spot on, and everything that I saw was actually directly behind me.
Ooh,
so I'm curious if it's changed or if I'm still able to do that.
This is interesting, Josh for the J. I have a great story in my teams. I almost isekai'd myself. Now, if you don't know what that means, Laura,
I don't.
It is edumacation time for Laura on some nerd speak here. So the term isekai is an anime term.
I figured.
It's actually like kind of like a subgenre anime, and it has to do with the general theme is a story involving someone getting transported to another world.
Oh.
So when someone says I got isekai'd, it means they got hit by a truck or something, and then they woke up in a different world. That's kind of like the common trope or something like that. So.
Ooh, I want to hear that story. Dang, Josh.
And it's not always getting hit by a truck. That's just like a joke. Like there's lots of different
but
there's lots
tragic.
There's lots of anime stories where they just end up in this next world or something like that. But yeah, that's what isekai means. Well, I hope in this particular situation where you say you almost got isekai'd, it wasn't because you almost died. At least I'm hoping that's not the case. But if you didn't, good. I'm glad you're still here.
I mean, unless you're in spirit form. Then do you want to be my spirit buddy? I'll be your friend.
You would be every spirit's friend if you could. And then you'd get annoyed because all these spirits are trying to talk to you.
That's very true.
You do it to yourself. You go around, come on, be my friend. And the ghosts are like, okay, I'll be your friend. And you're like, go away. You're talking too much.
That is probably very accurate, right? Actually. Yay. All right, Josh, you're officially my spirit buddy.
But I think that's pretty much all we got for today.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, guys.
If I obtain any other information about this investigation, I'll be sure to pass along what I find.
I would be curious to see some of Nick's footage for sure.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Anyway, thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate that you guys popped into our little stream here on this little corner of the internet. I think that's going to do it for today. I hope everyone has a great rest of their Sunday.
Bye.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.